So this is the analysis video for the individual task. I think the most memorable thing in the song is not having somewhere that you can call home, that you don't belong, like it says in the lyrics, which a lot of people can relate to, especially like being at uni and moving to a new town. You know, it's a confusing time, and I think that was like a good thing to write about, because yeah, most people, at least that I know, can relate to it. It's a point as well about some people feel trapped by their homes, like where they live and where they're from, and like not being able to escape your past, or where you come from, but you no longer have a place there, and you don't relate to anyone where you are now, like with your peers, and you feel out of place, and therefore feeling held back by your home and never having a sense of belonging. If I could, I would go back and like revisit the lyrics, because I had a few verses that I wrote maybe for Bridge, but I didn't really have time to like work it in there and like practice it enough, so I left it out. But there was like a further commentary on more about the origin aspect of it, and where you come from, and feeling, you know, trapped by that. The tempo is like, it's mid-tempo really, I think, and it's quite repetitive throughout the whole song, which I did on purpose, because it's kind of reflecting like the repetitiveness of the lyrics and like the feelings, and you know what a person's going through. Now there's like no escape, and it's just doing the same thing every day, and because of that you feel like isolated and misunderstood by your peers, which is something you'll always have to deal with, like you can't get away from it. In a way, it's a letter to people who have the same feelings. Like a lot of people in my generation feel alone, especially in the age of social media, which is showing a fake version of everyone's lives, because it only shows the good parts, and that obviously, if you're not in a good time in your own life, it makes you feel even worse, seeing everyone is happy all the time and surrounded by friends and family, and if you don't have that. Most people won't even mention that they feel this way because they don't want other people to know. I remember a quote that I heard in the TV show Misfits, and it said, "The only thing worse than being lonely is people knowing you're lonely." I think my song is different because not many young people talk about feeling this way, I don't think. And obviously it needs to be spoken about, because, you know, if everyone feels this way, there's an easy way to combat that, is to just talk to each other and be together, but obviously that doesn't always happen. So the verses are more action-based, like what I'm doing, going back to the place, you know, and the guitar reflects that in the continuous kind of low drone, to signify the monotony of repeating the same day over and over again. The pre-chorus kind of is a break almost, it stops, and then, as I say, I get out of the situation, so it's like a change in the journey, and then I just end up getting pulled back again. And then the chorus it lifts the register as the emotions rise, because it's just the frustration of like not being able to escape that, because you know, tried to change the situation so many times but you can't, and knowing there's nothing you can do about it and just repeating the same routine. So the chord structure for the verse is E minor and then like a mini E minor, which is, it's basically just that with no strings held on the fret, and then that's just like repeated, as you know. And then second line is A sus2 with a hammer on the high E, pre-chorus F C E minor and then mini E minor again, and then chorus is F C F C F C and then E, and then after the E there's a transition with the mini E, and then like mini E minor, sorry, and then back to E minor again for the verses. In the chorus, the word suffocating is highlighted, as it's the first note in the whole, it's the highest note that you hear after like the verse and pre-chorus being like very low, and people remember it and relate it to the feelings of being trapped, which is kind of the theme of the song. I use a metaphor of having an elastic band like wrapped around my arm, and then if I leave home for too long, it pings, like snaps back, which you know, it's kind of, you feel like you can't escape, so you're always going to go back there even if you've left before. I think the voice mirrors the instrument in that pace and tone, like it moves in the same way throughout the song, and the verses are quiet and low, and which bursts through in the chorus and becomes louder, and the emotions rise, and so does the pitch. If I had more time, I would have added a few more instruments which could help me bring out the tone in different parts of the song, like the drums and guitar, more intricate tunes over the chords.